Good morning. Hmm. Did you have a good week? I am back inside because it's only 50 degrees out. It's probably balmy for all the northerners, but 50's a little chilly for me. Hello, whoever is here. Good morning, Sherry. I haven't started, so I'm going to say good morning. Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you for being here. So, I'm gonna do it's been brought to my attention that I get off track when I say good morning to people who pop up here. I don't know if I can not no, because it jumps up to the right of me. It jumps up every time somebody types something there. So maybe if I make this bigger. Ooh, okay. This might work. I mean, I've noticed this. I know this, but I wasn't it gets me off track and I lose the flow, which is part of it. What the hell? So, but I'm going to do my best now. What I'm going to do, I actually have it bigger, so I'm actually talking to myself, but it's not centered. So I'm really not looking at the camera, at you guys. It's not direct. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is keep it this way, not see any comments. And then when there's a pause, then I'll go, that works. That works. Okay. When there's a pause in what the thing is, the interaction, I love the interaction. I loved it last week when Alicia was here and asking all those questions. I love being asked questions. It just, the natural response comes out, not something rehearsed. Like right now, I have something I want to talk about from a thing that I wrote this week from an interaction with somebody who's going through some stuff. So, this is what came out. Um, because he's believing he's the demise of his relationship. It's his fault. So, this is what came out. So, this is very deep, but if you're open, just take it in. Both of you came together for healing the trauma you both had within yourselves. This is how it is for every single relationship is to heal the trauma from childhood. The thoughts that you believe about yourself, they can relationships, every relationship when it is volatile, when there's angst, when there's a push pull, it's all to clear up how you're seeing it, how you're filtering it through the beliefs about yourself, the little me, and projecting it onto them. That's what's actually happening here. Um, Instead of reacting when the other pissed you off, that's the time to take a deep breath and look within and see why I'm pissed off. When somebody's coming at you with a friend, spouse, child, angry at you, what is it in you? What are you believing about yourself that they are triggering? That's it. That is it. most of the time it comes from I'm wrong. There's a belief in our minds that comes along with I'm a person, I'm a body. This me comes along with I'm not enough, which is the bottom line immediately. I'm not enough and and I'm wrong. I can do it wrong. I'm wrong. There's something wrong with me. It's a it's one of the deepest beliefs there is. There's something wrong with me. I should be blah blah blah. That's why comparing to others, because it's always it. This mind made me that's not who you are. This it takes everything personally. It it's fighting life. It's constantly fighting and complaining and bitching about life, thinking it's wrong, only projecting it being wrong because the belief that I am wrong. There's something wrong with me. That me has a belief that it's wrong. There's something wrong with me. That's a deep one. So it's got to fight. And when it's hit, that's when it's your opportunity to go, take a breath. Oh, no, that hit the belief that something's wrong with me, not the reality, because there is nothing wrong with any of us. Even the one you hate or you have the most disdain for, you know, there's nothing wrong with them either. There's nothing wrong with them, but your mind has to believe there's something wrong with them to take the focus off the deep belief that there's something wrong with me. Ooh, do you feel it? Okay, I'm going to go down and check and see. No, I don't have any comments. Okay. All right. Um, the reason I'm pissed off, it's never for the reason you think it is, because you think it's them that caused the ick inside. And it isn't. They just happen to hit what's already within you. That has the power to change so much collectively. If we all stopped when it hurt instead of blaming the other person for being an ass or can you believe what he did to me? All of that. If you didn't allow yourself to blame someone else and looked within, that's how you heal it. Then there are no more people. Then if somebody comes and says the same thing to you at another time, makes you wrong, you don't believe it anymore. You see that that's their need to have it a certain way, and you don't need to. You just bless them. You just love them because you see the innocence in it. You see that you are carrying this I'm not enough, something's wrong with me, and how painful that is. They are. Once you're free of it, that's where compassion comes in. Compassion and love for that person because you know how painful it is. So you just love them. It's so. Sometimes when I push on, something I've cleared up within myself and I push through somebody else's barrier, they have the belief, it's a staunch belief that whatever. What was yesterday? I was talking with somebody yesterday. It was this hardened belief. Not only the belief, but why it is, and the support underneath to keep that belief in place is so hard. I pushed back a little bit, and I said, "Well, what if it's not that way?" Oh, I know it's that way, is what she said. So I just block it. When I see a barrier, I feel a barrier. I see the belief is so strong that ain't nothing gonna change it. And it's not up to me. It's not up to me. The seed was planted. You see where it goes. That's it. That's all we're here to do once we see the love that we are, is just plant seeds everywhere. Um, it's always okay. So we're never pissed off for the reason we think we're pissed off. No, it's not about them. That's when you start looking within and see why is this pissing, who's this pissing off? The ego, me, which is false, bunch of thoughts about a me that doesn't exist. Literally, all war would end. All war within and without would end if everyone saw that we are not these bodies. We are human. Wait, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings, love beings having a human experience. And it's possible to come to this realization, which brings heaven on earth, not hell. Because most people are living hell in their own minds and blaming other people for it. Or other situations or whatever. Everything is a blessing. Everything. That's another thing I posted this week when I was talking with this friend. Everything is a blessing. When you react to something, it's a blessing for you to see how uncomfortable it is inside. You're thinking from the me, from a belief that is not true, and your body's letting you know by being uncomfortable. Okay. It's never the reason we think it is. It's always deeper from our very own trauma. If we refuse to blame the other, who is just me, for the pain we are reacting to, we can actually use these situations to heal instead of adding to it. Because if you don't heal it and you banish this person out of your life, have you noticed that another one comes in a different pair of pants to hit the same things, the same pain? If it's the same pain and a different person, who's the common denominator? There's your proof right there that it's in you. Further adding to it, blaming another for how I feel equals zero growth. It'll just keep being another skirt or another pair of pants in front of you. And you banish them too if they've done something wrong. But the bottom line is you're believing you are wrong and projecting it out there. They have to do this for you. They have to. And it'll keep happening until you wake up to it. It'll just keep repeating. And the inevitable demise of a relationship. Because that anger is inside, and you think that if you banish them from your life, then they're gone, and that's the end of it. I don't have to deal with them anymore. But if you actually sit and notice, you can banish somebody out of your life, but they're still there because they are you. Those thoughts, the imagination, literally everybody is there as a projection of your mind. Okay, I wasn't going to go. This is freaking deep. This is a stretch. And I'm letting you know that I know this is a stretch for the mind. So if you don't follow what I'm saying, Don't beat yourself up. Just be open. Just be open. Just hear it and see where it lands in you. Every single person is a projection of your mind, including your body. Your person is only a baby doesn't know. It's not a person in its mind yet. And then it starts believing, oh, that's me. That's Lori. That's Cynthia. And then all the identities come. And life is showing you when somebody hits the trigger, because the minute you take on this belief in a me, all these identities, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a blah blah, I'm a body, I, me. It's painful. When we give the baby a ball, a little baby, a ball before its identity, and the ball is taken away from them, it doesn't matter. It's not taken from me. I've not lost anything. But as the identity comes and the ball is taken away, there's a mine. There's where it starts. There's where the me starts. The false me, and it feels awful inside. And it happens, there's no way it's not going to happen here. That's what this is designed for. You take on all these beliefs and this identities, and finally you get tired of suffering and blaming other people, and you're like, wait a minute, this is miserable. It can't be meant to be this way. This is when, after the scam, after all that money was gone, and I'm not working, so I'm sitting with all of this pain. And one of the biggest ones was, if I'm not working and bringing in money, I'm worthless. Do you have that one? My worth is in how much money I bring in. Most me's, it's a false identity. If there is enough money, or if there's an abundance of money, then that's why Jesus said the rich won't get this, because they have a false sense of support. They think that the money is making them safe, making them better, making them worthy. That's the bottom line. Making them worthy. It's false, because underneath it is, I'm not worth it. If you're identified with a me, no amount of anything in this world is ever going to make you comfortable within, period. No amount of worldly cars and houses. Look at Jay Leno, and not saying that it's bad to collect cars. I'm just saying no amount of cars attached to a me will make you feel genuinely whole inside. You can be the happiest person within with nothing when you realize your true nature. That's freaking deep. You don't have to have a worldly thing. I went to my sister's this week, and with my cousin who came. He only knew my sister and I as a picture on the wall at my grandparents' house. He did, the two of us together. He did not. And both of us knew what picture that was. We can remember. I haven't seen that picture in years, but I still know what. Anyway, and he was so impressed by her, and it was all about the money and talking about the money and what they do. And I was fascinated by everything that he was talking about, how he worked at PIW and what he did, and it was fascinating. But it's not. That's the identity where it feels comfortable. What I did. Then when you don't, if you're identified with what you do and what you have, what happens when what you do is gone or what you have is gone? What happens then? Who are you then? That's why I'm saying these things can be a detriment, because then there's a worry about them, worry about losing them. If they're your identity, which most it is, I have, it's false. It doesn't come from that place of I'm whole already. If it does, then it won't matter if it's gone. But most, put insurance on. I gotta make sure it's okay. Make sure, and that is uncomfortable in the body. Anything that's uncomfortable in the body, it's identified. Okay. No one tells us this. So how can we know? You don't have teachers. Teachers. When I first woke up and saw what the boys were going through at school from the teachers, I was like, beyond reading, writing, and basic math, you don't need school. School is not going to teach you. It's about, actually, that's where most identities come from, supporting the fact that I'm not enough because you believe you're stupid. My granddaughter right now isn't applying. She's normally a straight A's, always has been a straight A student, and identified with that. And now she's not. She's not. She still is, but she's not putting her work in. There's something I don't know what's going on, but maybe she's questioning her identity of being a straight A student. Who knows? Interesting to watch this unfold. No one tells us this, so how can we know? It's just now becoming known on a wider scale. There's a lot more people talking about this now, too. There's a plethora of videos from you name it out there. It's sitting quietly, secretly in the midst of every single ego or false self. Love, who you really are, is sitting right there quietly waiting for you to recognize you don't need anything in the world to enhance your me. This is why relationships go south so often. Whoops, shoot. It's in the refusal to blame another for how I'm feeling that has the power to change your life in drastic ways. Noticing he did, she, can you believe all of that? It's not you. That's your mind. And it causes rifts in relationships that don't have to be there. All the while, the love, the center of each person, is sitting quietly. Part of it. Just there. Waiting to be uncovered. Waiting for these beliefs and identities to go away. Or to be looked at. As you look at them and say, oh, there's another one. I was identified with that. Oh, that hurt. And that's what a trigger. Every time when somebody says something and it hurts, you feel that contraction inside. Breathe. Don't react. Don't react to life. Breathe and say thank you inside. Or, that guy that told me how rude I was by talking on the phone at the pool, and it was just him and I. He was on the other side of the pool. It didn't matter the justifications in my mind of it. What did not come up? What an asshole he is! Because he came and stood in front of me and told me how rude, and he's never met anybody so rude, and how he would never talk on the phone, even though he had his radio Anyway, I said to him, "Thank you for telling me." I didn't even keep it in. I said it right to his face. "Thank you for telling me," automatically. And then I went to the island and carried on my conversation out there. Apparently, whatever I was saying, because it was talking like this, because it was a dear friend of mine who is on, we talk about this a lot. Well, we did more when I was in Maine. And that's what we were talking about. So it might have hit his ego. He's gone now. He's passed. But we amended it because I didn't hold anything against him. He had guilt. I could tell. But I let him off the hook. Because as I let him off the hook, I let me off the hook. You know? We're one. I didn't hold anything against him. I was my playful, joy-filled self every time I saw him after that. And he just, it wasn't even a thing, because here we go again. And I know this is going to hit that ego. I'm just warning you. Nothing's happening here. Nothing is happening. It's a projection of our mind. Literally, it's a projection of our mind. Anyway, so it's not like I had to forgive him, because that's just putting a band-aid on it. Like, I'm taking the better road and I'm forgiving him. No. It's recognizing that literally nothing happened. It meant nothing if it happened. It means not. Our minds make it mean something when we think something happened to hurt us. Literally, all of this is a projection of our mind. I don't know. I'm not going to put it. Okay. That's the false self. Ego, you believe yourself to be, has to be just a little bit willing to actually hear this message. If you are entertaining this message repeatedly, weekly, and you don't understand, because your mind's not going to understand this. It comes from it. Okay, this is how Roger Castillo says it. He says, you are born into all these beliefs about you and life, and all of this is happening and it looks real. You don't, even though we have the nursery rhyme, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. It's telling us it's a dream. We don't believe that, because the collective is caught up in the same dream. We're all indoctrinated into it by believing we're a me. So, as these me's come together, upholding, being, oh my God. These me's collectively, even though there's only one of us in the dream, it's a collective. We all believe that we are me's. We are people going through things, and life is out to get us, basically, because we're not enough. It's constantly, it compares to others, constantly comparing, usually making yourself less than. But the cars and things and the money is a false, seemingly positive. I've got this, so I'm better. No amount of shit in this world is ever going to make you better, because we are all the same. We are that one thing, that one consciousness. experiencing this. We get to experience this. When you believe you're a person, you think you're a victim of life. You think everybody else has wronged you or life has wronged you. That's why it's complaining. About the snow. Actually, what was beautiful, because there was snow in upstate Florida, from Tallahassee north, Alabama. People, Cynthia, people were enjoying it. People were doing, there was a lot of people complaining, but most of my feed was about people enjoying it. They've never seen snow. So they're not bitching about it. They're enjoying. There was an airboat going down a road. There were people making, grown men, snow angels, making snow angels because they'd never seen it. This is the coolest thing. See, everything could be that joy filled. It's whatever your mind grabs onto. Everything can be joy filled when you recognize that you're the one watching. You're the if you think of it as a game, a video game, you're the character. The me is the character going through all the motions, but you are the love idly sitting by watching it all on the screen of consciousness. Or think of it as consciousness as the ocean, and you're a little wave, a wave of a seeming life. And then after the life is, the wave is, it goes right back into the ocean. Isn't that's the best analogy? I just love it. Okay, let me check. Jimmy! Yes, I'm the common denominator and the innovator and the eliminator, and I will be open and feel it too. Keep on keeping on, dear lady. You're the best, Jimmy. Now I can't get back. Anyway, thanks for being here. I know you're probably gone, but at least thanks for popping in. I love seeing that you're here. Okay, but that false self ego you believe yourself to be has to be just a little bit willing to actually hear this message. Just a little bit willing. Because most of the time it is not, because it knows it's the demise of it. Because as you start facing this shit and looking at it as, oh, this is not about them, it's mine. It's what am I believing about myself right now that hurts so bad, but I'm blaming them, is it's going to eradicate that little me, which is the scariest thing for it. So it's a double-edged sword. It's, you know, it's going to be the end of it. Which is an awesome thing, but for it's fearful of it. It's afraid because it doesn't want to die. It believes it's on a timeline of birth and death. That's what it looks like in this dream of separation. But the love that you are is not born, and it is not gonna die. It's going on to whatever. It's the wave. The me is the wave. It's going right back into all that is and isn't, because it really isn't. It's just imagination projected out there as something real. This is reality, Lori. Really? How does it feel? If this is reality, doesn't it suck that we start as a baby, joy filled, and we end? We have a timeline of birth and death. We're going to die. That's what everybody's fear. What if COVID wouldn't have been a thing if people weren't afraid to die? That literally was, that's the way I saw it. That's why I wasn't afraid. at all. I didn't wear a mask unless I was made to, which was very few. We even went on the plane and didn't have to in the beginning. We went to Maine in 2020 in June. June, July, whatever. Something like that in the summer. And we didn't have to wear a mask. And we were in the very front row. It was the waitresses, stewardesses that had to wear the mask. We didn't have to wear it. And I did not. I'm not. Listen, I know that this body is not me. It's not born and dies. Who I am is going back into the ocean. My parents didn't die. They're back into the ocean of love. They're not separate from me. They were a projection from my mind, Mom and Dad. Oh, this is quite a stretch. In this dream, I had the best Mom and Dad. So grateful I had them. So grateful. Even though Mom and I clashed. Actually, Dad and I did too when he was younger and he was drinking and he would come home from work. He would come home from work after I got out of hairdressing school. And I noticed that before I got a job, I noticed that he was cracking open beers. He was going in the bathroom, spending his whole lunch hour in the bathroom drinking beer. And I was like, holy shit. So I started counting them. Sure enough, 2 beers were gone on his lunch hour in the bathroom. Sometimes 3. And when I told Mom, she confronted him. He lied. He said I was a liar. So, Lori, the identity of Lori, her I am wrong was hit. So it was a blaming of him saying, I am lying. So there was resentment, big time, for the dad, the seeming dad. But I didn't realize at that time that holding resentment for him it was a direct showing me. Anyway, so I had no real relationship with Dad until he was 68 when we took him to the hospital because he couldn't even stand up. He was just about, in the dream, it looked like he was going to pass because all he was doing was drinking. He got done. Never, after he got out of that hospital, he never had another drink. He was 68 years old. And that's when we had a relationship. That's when everything turned around. We talked. We shared. He saw me. And even during the scamming, he didn't hold it against me. He didn't get angry with me at all. He understood that I was just trying to help somebody because that's what he taught me. He taught me about loving, caring for the other person. He would do anything for anybody, and he would do it a lot out of people pleasing because he wanted everybody to like him. But he was fun. Everybody came out of the woodwork saying what a great guy he was. I don't know if he believed it, but I see clearly what a great guy he was. Even though it looked like it was hell for a while because Mom had to sit home worrying. We all worried, because he was drinking a lot. We were wondering. He was driving. He only got caught once. In the dream, it looked like he was a drunk. But that's just in the dream. That was a projection of my mind. Who he was is the love that I am. We aren't separate. Just like the love you are. Hi, Cher. The snow was magical and fun. Yes, I knew. Good morning, Margie. Yeah, I figured Cynthia you would, but it sure did look funny on your Sunshine Lane. No bunnies, no. Look like the Northeast. So, I don't know. I don't know. You know, that's the best saying. I don't know. Because that I know mind is so cemented. And I'll say to people that I'm working with, how do you know? Do you know? Do you really know? That triggered something. Oh, because I talk to people a lot. Most of my days filled up with different people I talk with. I help, and I see it's helping me too. But when I hear somebody say, wow, I never thought of it that way, ah, that sends me over the moon. And my sister said, you're not making money at it. And I said, no, I'm not. I'm not. But it doesn't. The joy for me is to share the love that we are. No amount of money could make me feel as joyful as I feel getting off a phone call with someone who is so depressed and they are a completely different person at the end. And it's quick. It doesn't have to be a long time. Usually I just let them run with the story, and then I'm open for the beliefs, for the triggers that they've got, which is so simple because they were my triggers too. So it's fun for me. I don't care if I never get paid for it. That's what I had to do in the shower. I don't know, a while back. It was before the new year, saying, what if I never get paid for doing this? And I just keep on sharing this love for nothing. Nothing wrong with that. What came was the joy that I feel is payment enough. But then I still had Peter saying, or my sister saying, why are you're not getting paid for it? Like there's something wrong. That was perfect for me to see that it is healed. Ah, yeah, yeah. Joy filled to help people is what I was put on. That's why I was scammed. Because it was, for me, it was a lot. It was about money too. I have to say it was about money, thinking I was going to get a cut of whatever. But the majority of it was, I'm sure that this guy in this dream, he was so, because there were things I wrote in my book, everything. I've written it exactly. I actually copied and pasted word for word in the book of what we went through, what I've said to him. Like when he said he had to stay, he couldn't come this time because he did an operation on somebody and he had to watch him. I said, that's bullshit. You know that once you've done the operation, life takes care of it. You don't really need an operation in reality. Anyway, I said, life is taking care of it. You don't need to do anything more. There's nothing more you can do. As long as they believe the operation did what it was supposed to do, they are going to heal it. Our bodies heal if we're not interfering with it, saying it's not. That's another one I'm talking to. She believes in the dream, she believes she has nerve damage. And I asked her, are you willing to challenge that? I don't remember how I said it, but I said, can you absolutely know? And she goes, oh yes, I know 100%. I know. That's what, there's no opening there. So she's going to continue her life believing she has to take these pills because she's not. Anyway, it's all an inside job in our minds. All of this. Every single thing that seems to be happening, and this doesn't like it, is a blessing. It is a blessing. But we're not looking at it through the blessing filter because we're too busy fighting it, resisting. Anything you resist persists. And if you didn't learn it the first time, it's going to come around again in a different pair of pants. It's not what happens, it's how you react to what happens. And you react from, if you react from fear, fear is the little me. You react like that, that's coming from the me, the false self. If you react, okay, take a breath, okay, this is for me, not to me. I am not a victim of anyone. Victims are angry people. When you believe you're a victim of Trump or a victim of Biden and the world's going to hell in a handbasket, your world will when you believe that. Yeah. Mine isn't. Mine isn't going to hell. It's becoming alive. Like heaven here. That's what it feels like. Heaven here. Right here. Being in the world, but not of it. Just like Jesus said. His teachings taken as reality, not through a religious context. If you just take the words he said in quotes, amazing. He pointed it. He pointed to all of this. You can do all that I have done and even greater things in the dream. When you let go, when you're coming from love and acceptance, and passion and kindness and all of the beautiful things of this dream. Oh, Michelle! I want to take a moment to honor your powerful message about projection energy and the truth that love is the only real thing. It resonated so deeply with me, especially after an incredible weekend spent with a dear soul connected friend, Joe, where we had a very similar conversation. Shoot. It keeps jumping. The synchronicity was undeniable. That's another thing. As you let go of the me, the synchronicities are, I mean, they're there normally anyway, but you don't see them when you're so, I love you, Ginny. When you don't see them, you don't see the synchronicities when you're complaining and bitching and blaming. You don't see them. You don't see the blessings. Your words carry such profound truth. Where we focus our attention, our energy flows. Yes, if you focus on being a victim and somebody else wronged me or they're doing it wrong or you're hurt, that focus makes it hell on earth. It is one of those truths that you don't fully grasp until you do. But once you know, it is life-changing. Michelle is someone I met this past week. She has had a near-death experience, and we've connected, and everything she writes is exactly what, it's almost like she's writing through I didn't have a near-death experience, but after I had my awakening at 35, when I found out about near-death experiences way back, I don't even know how long ago that was, because my awakening happened in 1998. So it wasn't long after that I came down here to Florida with Angie, and when she got her house, and my sister, and there was a book by Atwater. Mrs. Atwater. She wrote all about near-death experiences, and it was thick. I literally was at Angie's Corner by myself that whole weekend. The synchronicities with birds, with life because I was by myself. Because they are coming from that love. They see the falseness of the me, this dream. Every single one of them comes back, most of them, majority, I would say 90% of them come back saying, I never knew. And they remember it just like it was yesterday. They say that this is the dream, and that, when they've died, is reality, because it's just love and compassion. And when they talk, you can, Michelle, you can talk, you feel her, you feel it. It reminds you of before we came here, before the energy that makes this body do this was identified as a me. Each pain we go through, each seeming pain inside, makes you, the contraction makes it concretize in the mind. Oh, this is me. I can be hurt. It goes together. The body and mind goes together. But when you're lifted away from it, when you die, when I saw Dad dead, I have a picture of him because I wasn't there when he died. When I came back and saw him minutes after he died, I saw that was just a shell. It was a shell of him. My mother's like, don't take a picture. Don't you show anybody that picture. She was so, because we're supposed to keep death a secret. Maybe I will post that. It was almost like it was a desecration to who he was. No, it isn't, because that's not who he was. And it's only her trigger. I'm doing something wrong. She was feeling like it was wrong to take a picture of his dead body. It was his vehicle to experience this life. It's gone back. It's the wave that's gone back to the ocean, all that is. Your words carry. We focus our attention, our energy flows, yet much of what we perceive is an illusion, except for love. It's one of those truths that you don't fully grasp until you do, but once you know, it's life-changing. Michelle, I'd love to do a podcast with you, us just talking. Oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome? Because other people would be able to feel, could they be able to feel the truth of what they are through our words, even though words are not, words are of this, words dumbed down. Words are so limited. Everything here is limited. What we truly are, the love that we truly are, there's no limit. No limit. Thank you for your courage and wisdom in sharing this message with the world. It's a gift to witness and be part of this collective journey. I'm grateful for the light you're shining. Your soul's work is powerful, and it inspires me to keep opening my heart to love and truth. Yes, Michelle, what the heck? When I started listening to near-death experiences or reading about them, literally that book I read in a weekend, I could feel every single person's truth. I could feel it. Oh my God, it was just if you watch any near-death experience from Jeff Mara's podcast, feel what these people say. Feel it's just it transports you back to the truth of what we are, which isn't this body, or the beliefs that I'm not enough and something's wrong, or somebody else is doing it wrong, or whatever. Control. When we believe we have control, or we need to control this, that is the most painful. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Simple words of wisdom Let it be. Wow. Simple words of wisdom. Let it be. Take that breath when the mind comes up and says, you're doing something wrong. Take a breath, because that blinks telling somebody else they're doing it wrong is hurting you, because that love that we are is one. One. We are all connected. And if you're the recipient of someone saying you're doing it wrong, take a breath. Take a breath and realize you're not doing anything wrong. And their need to control is coming from their little me. Have compassion for them. That changes every relationship. All right, this worked out really good, Cher. What I did was put myself as bigger, but I can't really see myself, so I don't know. So coming down, checking on the word, the things here, comments. Sometimes lately I'm finding words are not coming. I know what I want to say, but it just doesn't come out. Well, the right word. I guess it's searching. It's searching for the right word. Look at that. It's searching for the right word because it doesn't want to make it wrong. And when you laugh at yourself for all of this, everybody laughs with you. When you laugh at yourself, even though there's that little sting, it's like, oh, of course. It lightens, it brings you to the light that you are, that you already are. Oh my God, this was so good. Anyway, thank you for being here. Every single one of you that watches this, it was, oh, I don't know. I think, let's see. 617. Now, in Lori's dream, it's growing. And I cannot be any more thankful for any one of you, whoever is watching this. I don't know. I can't know who watches. 617 people watched it last time. Oh my God. It's growing. I just want to share this word. I know you feel it or you wouldn't watch. It's been consistently 400. Consistently. But the 5 and the 6. The 6 is like the first, I think. Pretty sure it's the first. But there's something that resonates in you. There's something that you feel. You remember that joy that you were before you took on these beliefs about you. The heavy thinking of something's wrong with me and I'm not good enough. It's heavy. It's a burden to bear. But you don't need to bear it. If any one of you send me a message, send me a message. I'm here. I will get to you as soon as I can. Because I'm volunteering at the school, I'm volunteering in the kindergarten class. I am with kindergarten kids. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I just love kids because I'm a kid myself. Sending unconditional love to all. Cynthia, that's you. I appreciate you all, every one of you that is watching this. I appreciate you for being a little bit willing in this dream to open up to the love that you are already. Oh my gosh. Next week. See you next week. I've actually had some times in the middle of the week thinking maybe I'll do this spontaneously. That's what I do on TikTok. My TikTok ones. The last one I posted during the week this week, that was from a TikTok that I just couldn't. It had to come out. Anyway, it's an hour. Perfect. I think hour is perfect. Used to be I needed to keep it lit. Anyway, I love you. Mwah. Have a great week.